What up, though? All praises go to the Most High, man. It's your boy Trill, man. And today, I feel inspired to talk about influence, man. Being influential people out here. Because, whether we realize it or not, we all hold influence, you feel me? We all got some weight. We all got some type of pull, whether it's little or whether it's, abundant, man. Some people may only have influence on their friends, the couple friends they got. Some people may only have influence over their children. And other people have influence over, their city. You know what I mean? Other people have influence over their school. Other people got influence over their region, whatever region they in. And it's like, we gotta understand that, man, because we influencing niggas in the wrong way, man. One of my biggest regrets, you know what I mean? And when I say regret, I mean literally like some shit I wish I could take back. You know what I'm saying? Is influencing so many niggas to go down the wrong path, you feel me? Because I ain't gonna lie, the Most High always blessed me to be an influential person, you know what I mean, one way or another, whether I realized my influence or not, you know what I mean, whether I took heed to it and took advantage of it or not, you know what I mean. And it's like, we gotta realize that, man, so we can steer people down the right path, I got a lot of people in my life, a lot of people in my world that I can honestly say, I ain't steered down the right path, you feel me? I ain't used my influence for good, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people that's dead and gone, that we was influencing each other in negative ways, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people who locked up with a little bit of time and a lot of people who locked up with a lot of time, doing a lot of time. Well, I can honestly say, man, I influenced in the wrong way, and we was influencing each other in the wrong ways. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that ain't right, man, because at the end of the day, a lot of this shit that come with the streets, and all the different aspects of the streets, it's like, I wouldn't want my kids doing this shit, you know what I mean? Flat out. And that's just as real as it's gonna get. I don't want my kids to ever go to prison. I don't want my kids to ever be involved in no shootouts. I don't want my kids to ever be out here strung out on drugs, getting high, you know what I mean? I don't want my kids to ever fall victim to a lot of the negative things that the streets have to offer, you know what I mean? And even in a sense, all the good shit that the streets ever brought to me that I felt was good was only worldly things like money and women and, power, shit like that. You know what I mean? Shit that all go. It all fades. It all dwindles. You know what I mean? Just like everything else in life. And it be like, man, the Bible say, and shout out my nigga Street Lord Wine, man. He the first person I ever really heard this before I even heard it in the Bible, man. What's the profit of a man who gains all the riches of the world only just to lose his soul, man? Like, what is you really gaining out here if you get everything you want, but you lose your soul? You feel me? Damn, that's not no even swap. You feel me? That's a big sacrifice, man. To get all the money, all the females, all the cars, all the clothes, all the power, but your soul gone, though. That's a big ass swap, man. I don't think niggas really know how big of a swap that is. You feel me? Like, that's a big swap. Even if you don't believe in heaven and hell in a sense, it's like just having no soul make you feel so empty. It make you feel so incomplete. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like a lot of people out here, I know everybody's soul done been hurt in some form or fashion, whether it was from infidelity or whether it was from losing somebody or whether it was from doing something that they truly, truly regret, you know, and it's like your soul is like a part of your consciousness, you know what I mean? That's why people always say the term, like, guilty conscience, you know what I mean? That's some shit weighing on your soul, like, damn, I did some fucked up shit, I whoop the whoop, I whoop, 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 like, dog ain't deserve that, she ain't deserve that, like, I took something that I can never give back, you know what I mean? Once your consciousness gets to that level, and you start realizing some of the consequences behind your actions, you realize that you can do things that can never be redeemed, in a sense. You know, you can take something from somebody, such as their life, or their child's life, you know what I mean, or their mother's life, or their brother's life. You can take some shit that you can never get them back, or that they can never get back. You know, yeah, they might have another child, but it will never be that child, you know? Yeah, they might get another motherly figure, or, you know, maybe the Most High bless them with aunties or grandmas or something, but it will never be that mother, you know what I mean? So you can essentially take something from somebody that you can never pay them back, you know what I mean? And that shit hurt your soul, man, because we all gonna evolve out here. And once you know, you evolve, you gonna be thinking about that shit. You feel me? I don't care who you is. Even if you still in your brain program yourself to not give a fuck and to keep doing more fucked up shit, you gonna have dreams about that shit. You know, you gonna think about it. It's gonna be on your consciousness. You know what I mean? You gonna have visions about that shit. You know what I mean? Like, for real, the soul deep, man. It's deep. It's way more deep than I understand, you know what I mean? Or maybe than any of us understand, you know what I mean? But I understand enough to know that it's deep, you feel me? I understand that enough to know that them motherfuckers not no game, and I know that I don't want to lose my soul, you feel me? And I know that if everybody really understood the consequences, I know that nobody would want to lose their soul. You feel me? Nobody, man. And it's like, so we got to influence niggas, man, to do better. We got to influence each other, you know? Influence our parents, you know what I mean? Influence our youth, because a lot of the time, you know, us 90s babies or early 2000s babies, you know, in a lot of the urban communities, we the ones really making the money. We the ones really taking care of everybody, you know, because it's just our time. You know, we all in our late 30s, you know, late 20s, you know what I'm saying? Late 30s to late 20s, and it's like we the ones really out here providing. We the ones really out here, you know, taking more of a leadership standpoint. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, we gotta really lead our people in the right way, man, because we fucked up, man. And just because you got the bag, just because you got the money, don't mean you a good leader, don't mean you influencing niggas to do right. You know what I mean? Flat out. Like, it was this show I used to watch. It was like called Bumpy Johnson. I know it was about Bumpy Johnson. You know, it was this one series where they had Forrest Whitaker in there. You know, I can't remember the name of the stuff. But it's so crazy because I don't think a dog ever did drugs. You know, he sold drugs all his life. You know what I'm saying? And then his daughter got strung out. And you know, he was rich. He was the man. He was having it. You know, this the nigga who influenced Frank Lucas. You know what I mean? Like, he was one of them ones. And it fucked him up so bad when his daughter got strung out. And at the time, when I used to be watching it, it really wasn't that significant to me, because I always felt like that shit was just a part of life. But now, I got 4 kids with another one on the way. Like, I look at everything different, like, damn. I would hate for my kids to be strung out on drugs. Real talk. I would hate that shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, shit, if I don't want my kids to go down that right route, and I don't want to influence my kids to do that shit, you know, on a certain level, I gotta not want that for other people's kids. You feel me? I gotta not want that for your kids. Straight up, man. So we gotta just understand that, man. Love y'all. Good thoughts, good vibes in a minute.